All right, folks. Well, welcome to the first Ada Scotland Festival. Hope you can all hear me. I'm Matt. I'm one of the organisers of the festival. Hopefully, you'll not see too much of me today, but I'm going to kick off with a little introduction from Richard Lochhead, who is the Minister for Higher Education, Further Education and Science.
Hello, I'm pleased to join you all today to celebrate the achievements of women in science, technology, engineering and maths, or STEM. I'd like to thank the Ada Scotland team for organising this event and inviting me to say a few words today as well. Ada Lovelace is seen as the first computer programmer, and her work in the 1800s was prescient of future developments, and it's right that we celebrate her work today. I know that several women who work in digital, data and technology within Scottish Government have participated in a workshop for this event to highlight the varied roles and the career paths across the organisation. I hope that attendees really find this session informative and hopefully inspiring also. Data and digital skills are an increasingly prominent feature of education in the early years, primary and secondary schools. And I'm clear that these skills will be absolutely essential for all our young people as they move forward in their careers and in their wider lives. The aims of this event is to increase the profile of women in STEM and support the aspirations within the Scottish Government STEM education and training strategy. Our STEM strategy aims to build Scotland's capacity to deliver excellent STEM learning and to close equity gaps in participation and attainment in STEM. So I applaud this event for bringing people together to tackle these issues. I'm particularly conscious of the imbalance that exists within digital technology and computing science, with less than 20% of higher entries from females this year. So we are committed to addressing this, both through the STEM strategy and meeting the recommendations within the recent Logan Review. A perception that computing and related subjects are only for boys is limiting opportunities for young women, as well as limiting the talent available to the tech industry in Scotland. We really need a diversity of talent, with around 100,000 people now employed in digital roles across Scotland and a need for 13,000 new entrants every year to meet replacement and growth demand. Greater gender balance will help us meet the growing demands of the digital economy. Unconscious bias and gender stereotyping are acknowledged as significant factors in determining young people's choices from an early age. And research shows that it is important to tackle the underlying causes of gender imbalance through sustained and systemic action that starts early in the learning journey and continues on through education and into the workplace. To address this, as part of the STEM strategy, we are funding a dedicated team of improving gender balance and equalities officers within Education Scotland. And they are working with schools and early learning settings to provide professional learning and ongoing support in delivering actions to tackle gender bias and improve gender imbalances in participation, subject choice and learner pathways. And we're also looking to improving participation in STEM further and higher education courses and apprenticeships as well, including through college and university gender action plans. The Scottish Government supports Equate Scotland's work on tackling the underrepresentation of women in STEM and STEM learning and careers, and Equate Scotland is working to change cultures and organisations and academia and to develop women's expertise, essential skills and their confidence as well. I'm also aware of some of the great work being done by other organisations, including dressCode and Codebase and many, many more. Business and employers are also integral to inspiring our young people and developing their awareness of the opportunities in this sector, and I am pleased that there are so many involved in today's celebration. I'd particularly like to thank the sponsors of this event and all the organisations that have donated prizes. I would encourage all employers to engage with our education and training system through our schools and our colleges and universities to help us build the skills and diversity required to meet the future needs of our economy and our wider society. So I hope that you enjoy the varied and interesting programme ahead of you all today.
All right. Well, many thanks to the Minister for setting us off. I'm just going to say a very quick word or two about the origins of the festival. The festival came about, it actually emerged from a SIGSA-sponsored workshop that brought together a bunch of teachers and lecturers and policymakers to discuss, the very obvious issues with gender imbalance in computing science education. And one of the outcomes was we needed to work better together, basically. So to try and bring all of us who are trying to address this problem, bring us together and sort of provide a one-stop shop, if you like, for tackling gender imbalance in computing science education. Of course, it's not just education. The imbalance in education means we have an imbalance in industry. And so this is going to take some time to fix. But that's where the festival comes about. I'll give you some highlights in terms of what our partners are doing for us over the coming days. But in the meantime, I'm going to play another video, hopefully with some success this time, which will introduce our exciting video competition, which is aimed at young girls in Scotland or young women in Scotland who are studying computing science. And if you bear with me, I'll play.
Hi, happy Ada Lovelace Day.
Welcome to the ada.scot Festival. We are Toni and Clara, also known as the Turing Testers 2.0.
The Ada.scot Festival is all about bringing together organisations who are keen to bring more women and girls into computing, IT and cyber industry. We've set a few of our own treasure hunts online for it.
As a part of the ada.scot Festival, there's a competition, and we're looking for videos involving interviews or profiles of female students studying computing, and just to give a possible realistic view of what it is like.
The best videos will be hosted on the public website and social media. There is also some amazing prizes for the winners. All the info is on the website.
We can't wait to see what you come up with.
Good luck!
All right. So hopefully that has given you an overview of what the video competition is about. At this point, I'd just like to ask my colleague, Dr. Ella Taylor-Smith, to join us and perhaps cover off any particular issues that we need to cover for the competition. Ella?
Okay, thanks, Matt, and thanks to the Turing Testers for that great intro. The Turing Testers are going to judge the entries from university and college students. Anyone studying computing, doesn't need to be computing science, any of the digital courses is fine. And Jane Morrison-Ross, CEO of Scotland IS, is going to judge entries from schools. So if you're a student at school, you don't need to be studying computing, you just need to say that you like it and tell us why. So the submissions are going to open on Friday, and the deadline for entries is Tuesday, the 17th of November, and then we'll announce the winners at the beginning of December. All the info is on the website, but ask us any questions, we're happy to answer them. We're looking forward to seeing your videos. Good luck. I've also got a bit of a sort of last minute information from the Cyber Academy, who have contacted me about a series of events that they're organising for the festival that will be starting after the half-term holidays. They're called Phishing, Scamming and Other Evils, and they'll be led by Basil Manousos, the manager of the Cyber Academy, and a cybercrime consultant. You can find out how you can be hacked because of your cats, how spam and phishing work, how new frauds are unfortunately developing during the COVID era to take advantage of people. So more about that soon. Okay, that's me.
Thanks, Ella. It is a great competition and there's some great prizes thanks to our sponsors, including Barclays and Fridays for Futuring. So it's definitely worth getting involved. Okay, I'm just very quickly going to whiz through some of the upcoming events. This is by no means everything. Our partners have put on a fantastic range of different talks and workshops and other activities. So I'm just going to give you some of the highlights in the coming days. But in all cases, basically, you're best to look at the website, ada.scot/events, for anything that's coming up. Coming up, in fact, this evening at 5 p.m, we've got Codebase are putting on not one but two workshops as part of their Digital Skills for Girls program, which they're putting on especially for us on the ada.scot Festival. The first of these is about building your own Minecraft world using JavaScript, and also learning to build your own platform game. So that's that'll be a very fun and interactive session just this evening. I quite like to do that myself. Also this evening, we've got a session that's been run by Equate Scotland, which is going to be a panel session, and it's going to involve some women working in tech telling you about what they wish they knew whenever they were a bit younger, whenever they were thinking about their careers. So that's going to be informal, relaxed, but also hopefully very informative. So, and that's open to anyone who is interested, of course. It's not just girls who are studying computing, for example. It's open to everyone. So tomorrow we've got a talk from Teresa McComsky, who is a distinguished engineer and also the head of open source adoption at Barclays. So I had a great chat with Teresa yesterday. She's got lots of interesting things to tell you about. Teresa's going to give you a little introduction, a little sort of overview of her career to date, how she got to where she is, and then we'll have a few questions and answers as well afterwards. So I think that's going to be another fun session from someone who's very much made it in her field. Also tomorrow, around about lunchtime, we have a career session with analytics firm Quantum Black. They have put together a session featuring a female software engineer, a female front-end engineer, a data engineer, and a data scientist. They're going to give some very short, very informal talks on their career to date, how they got where they are, and they'll also answer some questions as well. So I think that'll be a super informative session that will give you a broad sense of some of the careers that are available in computing science and tech. Also tomorrow, a little bit later at 2:30, we've got the fabulous Inner Wings Foundation, who are focused on developing confidence in girls. And they have put together an event featuring Baroness Gowdy and Melissa Di Donato, who is the new CEO of SUSE, which is the world's largest independent open source software company. So I think that's going to be a really interesting combination and a really interesting topic. I know I see the value in developing confidence in girls in particular, and I've also signed my daughter up to that one, so I'm looking forward to that in particular. On Thursday, we've got a panel of inspiring women from the NatWest Women in Technology Network, who are going to talk about their pathways into working in tech. We're going to talk about the various development and career opportunities that tech can offer young women working at a large financial institution. Then also on Thursday, we've got not one but two events run by our friends at BCS Women. So we've got Lessons to My Teenage Self, where we'll have three again inspirational speakers talking about what they kind of wish they'd known, what they would tell themselves back when they were a teenager. So it's about understanding the experiences of young women who have started a career related to technology. BCS Women are also going to run a leadership style quiz. So you can find out what your leadership style is. Maybe you didn't know you had one. But that'll be an interesting and I think also quite a fun little session that will be run by BCS Women on Thursday. Also on Thursday, a little bit later, we've got JP Morgan. We're going to talk about some of the opportunities in technology, again with a focus on a career. And that talk is going to come from Tasha Potts, who is a business analyst working at JP Morgan with machine learning. So I think that'll be another interesting talk. And machine learning is nothing if not a growth area at the moment, so definitely one to catch. Again, I'm whizzing through these very quickly. You should see the website for details. On Thursday afternoon, we've got Mahum Khan, who is joining us from Pakistan. She is our Women in Games ambassador. She's been doing all kinds of really cool development work with VR in games. And she's going to tell you about basically her story, how she's got to where she is, the highs and the lows, and she's open to answering some questions at the end as well. Another interesting talk. And finally, in the sort of edited highlights, later on in the week on Friday, we've got Dr. Natalie Kuhl, who's the head of cybersecurity at Abertay University, and Sarah Cunningham, who is a fourth-year ethical hacking student and also the president of the Abertay Ethical Hacking Society. They're going to talk about their paths through education and into work, and talk about some of the career opportunities that exist for women in cybersecurity in particular. Those are very much just the edited highlights. Please see the website. I should also say that we've got a bunch of pre-recorded videos, like this one from the Glasgow Women in Computing Science, plus challenges and competitions and a bunch of other activities that are also available on the website. Speaking of competitions, shortly after the launch event today, we'll announce the first of our winners in the Ada Scotland Schools giveaway. That was a giveaway that we set up for teachers who engaged with us in some shape or form, either online by tweeting with the hashtag #AdaTeachers or by signing up for one of these events. So we'll do the prize draw for that just after the event today and post on social media. But we've decided to do another one of these. So it'll be the same rules, we'll put them on the website. Basically, if you sign up for any of our upcoming events, or if you're a teacher and you tweet with that hashtag, #AdaTeachers, and ideally tag us in your tweet as well, we'll enter you into a prize draw for merchandise, including t-shirts, as you can see here. We've got some rather nice branded water bottles, and we've also got some little pin badges, which are quite nifty too. So teachers, if you're watching this, I know many of you are, please consider entering, and we will send you a bunch of swag, so free stuff. That's more than enough from me. What I'd like to do now is introduce a talk from Toni Scullion, who is, as many of you will know, is the founder of dressCode, is also one of the co-founders of Ada Scotland. So I'm going to cue this up and just play it without any further introduction, but I think you're going to enjoy this one, provided I get the video to work correctly.
Hi everyone, happy Ada Lovelace Day. I'm Toni Scullion. I'm a computing science teacher and founder of the charity dressCode and co-founder of the ada.scot festival, along with the amazing Dr. Ella Taylor-Smith and Dr. Matthew Barr. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the launch of our very first ada.scot festival. On our website you'll find amazing activities and events. We've got Q&A sessions and talks from industry. We've also got a section called Ask the Expert. So if you're wondering what it's like to study computing science at university or work in industry, you can post your questions there. There are also amazing competitions with brilliant prizes up for grabs. I really hope you have fun. But first, I want to take you back to the mid-1800s. It's hard to imagine a world without computing. It began with Ada Lovelace and her work with a prototype computing machine in the 1840s. It is this work that makes us now consider her the first ever computer programmer. Her pioneering insights have led us to the incredible computing technologies and software that we have today. It touches every part of our lives. It's used by doctors, designers, scientists, and engineers, and so much more. It's key to dealing with world problems like cyber warfare and climate change. Computing science is helping make a real difference to the world we live in. But what about Scottish schools? Computing science was introduced as an official subject by the SQA in 1988. Over the years there have been many different qualifications, from O grades through to the current national qualifications. You can see the total number of girls presented across all the available qualifications each year. In 1988, there were 2,432 girls entered into the first computing science qualification. As we look through the years, we see the number of girls choosing to study computing science has declined dramatically in the last decade. Less girls chose to study computing science in 2019 than when the subject was introduced in 1988. 1,269 girls entered National 5. 549 chose computing as a higher, and only 86 girls in Scotland decided to enter Advanced Higher. We need more girls to study computing science at all levels in secondary schools, and to not only show you the amazing opportunities there are in the tech sector, but to encourage you to be part of the country's tech industry. A more diverse workforce means increased creativity, productivity, and efficiency. Diverse teams with a range of skills and perspectives innovate and solve problems better. We need more girls. We need you. So my question to you is, do you want to then choose computing science?
So yes, I just wanted to thank quickly our sponsors. I'll thank again Toni for the excellent keynote. We've had support from Morgan Stanley, Very Connect, and Sixa to get us going. And we've had very generous sponsorship in terms of prizes from dressCode, again, Fridays for Futuring, IT for You at Napier, and from Barclays as well. And we've had support in kind from University of Glasgow, from Napier again, and from Freer Consulting. But what I really wanted to do just now before I wrap up and point to the next event is thank my fellow founders. So that's Toni Scullion from dressCode and Dr. Ella Taylor-Smith from Edinburgh Napier University, who have been fantastic. We've put this together very quickly, at quite short notice, and Ella and Toni have been fantastic. Also, I'd like to thank our advisory board. I don't want to list names because I will forget someone, but you know who you are and they are listed on the website. I would like to give a special mention to Anna Doyle from University of Glasgow, who deserves a special mention just because of all of the support she has given us. She was too modest to count herself as a co-founder, but she has been superb. So we're going to take a little bit of a break now. We're going to come back at 4 o'clock for a Q&A with some of Barclays software engineering graduate apprentices. We've got Kathleen and we've got Laura, who are waiting in the wings, ready to answer your questions about their experiences of being software engineers on an apprenticeship scheme and working for one of the biggest financial organizations there is. Thank you. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Naturally, it all went fine in practice, but not in real life. All of this stuff will be available online. We have already posted the pre-recorded videos on YouTube on our channel, and I'll tweet those out later on, and those will have captioning for those who would like it. Don't go away. This exact webinar will continue, and at 4 o'clock, we'll move on to the Q&A with the apprentices. Grab yourself a coffee, and we'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. Thank you.